Hey Paul, I'm so devastated that you've had to unfollow me, but let me explain this for you and anybody who feels like you, because you're unhappy that I've been criticizing Labour and Labour MPs because we effectively live in a two-party system. So anything that undermines or weakens the most successful party on the left, in this case Labour, relatively speaking left, ultimately ends up helping the right, and you're talking about the threat of the far right. And you, because you look like this, probably aren't quite as at risk from the far right as I am. I'm just putting that out there. But here's the thing, Paul. On our current path, we are currently heading towards a Reform Party government. So the far right threat that you're talking about, that is what will actually come to pass if we do nothing. And Reform will be able to do that based on the same 34% vote share that Labour had at the last election. So Nigel Farage will become Prime Minister on only a third of the vote if we do nothing. And there are only two ways of preventing that from happening. Either Labour changes the voting system to one where all votes count equally so that Nigel Farage won't be able to take absolute power based on only a third of the vote, or Labour significantly improves living standards across the UK so that voters trust them at the next election. Which is why your comment, Paul, is funny, because you were criticising me for complaining about Labour's policy, which they themselves have said would push 150,000 people into poverty, so not exactly improving living standards. The point I'm trying to get across to you, Paul, is that you seem to think that the harder we criticise Labour, the more we help Reform and the far right. But the reality is the exact opposite, because the less we criticise Labour, the more likely it is that they'll keep doing the exact same things, which would lead to Nigel Farage becoming our next Prime Minister. You see, Paul, blindly supporting the people who claim to be on your side of politics, regardless of what they actually do, is the biggest problem in politics right now. It makes you no better than Trump voters who've simply chosen their side and facts no longer matter to them. And it makes political conversations so much worse because they think we're just as bad as they are, that we're just all sticking to our sides like a football game, whereas in fact we should be all just trying to do everything we can to improve the lives of the people who are on the pitch, regardless of how much the managers try to get us to hate each other. But yeah, you take care, Paul.